Namaste ji, namaste. So in this episode of Thinking Like a Lawyer, let us think about the case of Karl Rock. Now, Karl Rock is first and foremost not an Indian citizen. So he's not an Indian citizen. What does that mean? That means he doesn't have some of the fundamental rights given wherein part 3. So a controversy has arisen wherein the Indian government has blacklisted him, and his claim, he runs a pretty popular, a huge YouTube channel, and his claim is that he hasn't been provided a reason thereof. Now it is very easy to as usual to get enraged about, well, the government is fascist sector, whatever. Let's keep that aside. Let us think like a lawyer about what do we do in this situation. If let us say that we have been engaged by Mr. Rock. Well, I think his original name is something to do with rice or something, and that's just Karl Rock sounds much more better. Anyway, so how do I go about that? Whether I violated any visa laws, first and foremost, whether my client violated any visa laws. Now remember, we are being hired by Mr. Karl Rock, and we'll be hired by the government as well in, let us say, 5 to 7 odd minutes. Then we'll discuss their viewpoint, you can say, and then we'll be arguing against him. Right now we are arguing for him. So has my client violated any visa laws? Apparently, on the face of it, prima facie, yes. Well, client sub participated in protests against the Indian government. That's expressly not allowed. If you're on a tourist visa, then you may not engage in any profession. Again, that may be a violation, and again, this is prima facie violations based on news reports. I pretty much am not in the know of the actual facts, or I haven't really studied the visas laws. This is just a lecture of how to get you to think. That's just about it. So if these two violations have taken place, I will side skirt this issue, and I will want कि किसी जगह पे अगर his spouse who's an Indian citizen, उनका right to life violate हो रहा हो under Article 21, I'll argue on that count. That my husband has been blacklisted, and well, I have a right to life which has been guaranteed, so I'm approaching the court under the remedies available to me under Article 32 and 226. Basically, writ लगेगी. अच्छा, because भाई right violate हुआ है, तो और क्या होगा? अच्छा. Now you see, how do you think like a lawyer? When you are wrong here, then why do you want to argue on those counts? Well, you don't argue that. Let me start off with this. If this, you can say, this card or this tactic doesn't play out, well, then you start defending him in those counts, that how is running a YouTube channel is not profession, because Google will pay you from Singapore, and that's technically speaking, that's where the YouTube payments come in, and it's tax-free income, and this isn't exactly earning any money as per this. That's how you think, and that's how you basically try to play around with words. So instead of taking out your tank and saying, well, as usual, the Indian government is fascist, Indian government is this and that, well, hang on. That's those arguments, they just do not work in court. This is what works. Now let's go again. Now presume that you are arguing on behalf of the government of India. You have been engaged as a counsel for the government of India. What are your points? He doesn't have a right to protest. He violated that. He is earning money on a tourist visa. He violated that. Not all rights under Part 3 are available. Part 3 of the Constitution, because Some of the rights are available to citizens exclusively. Some are available to both citizens and foreigners. Basics of Polity 101. We won't get into the detail here. So not all rights are available here. The Indian government, just like any other government of any other country, can deny, we can deny you any, as in even providing reasons, because usually when your visa gets rejected, you're not expressly told that why we aren't allowing you. It's as simple as that. Every country does that, because they can claim no, this is in public interest and we won't be revealing the grounds, etc. But then, as the case has already been filed, the petition I think has already been filed in the High Court, that please let us know. And well, I think the wife is trying to get her husband back here. Now see, smart tactic. He hasn't filed the petition, being filed by the wife, who's an Indian citizen who has full rights. That's how you play around, or rather play within the system and play the game, and do not basically be blaming the game, just how the rules are set out, and you will have to play according to the rules that are there in the rule book, instead of saying, well, the book is bad, throw the book in the dustbin. That does not work in the legal life or the lawyer life. Then we basically argue on these grounds, and basically we'll be hell-bent on proving that how we are correct. Why? Because if he violated the provisions of the Foreigners Act, then the GOI is perfectly within its rights to block the entry. It's as simple as that. And then what will be the final decision be? That obviously all of it depends on the judge itself, but this is how we think like a lawyer. And I pretty much I haven't really educated myself with the facts of, let us say, the Foreigner Act provisions, what exactly is the case, what exactly did he do, did he not do. That's not the main point of this lecture. This lecture is just for the younger ones who are just entering into law school, have completed their first years, to think about an issue from a legal viewpoint, and that's about it. So I usually don't comment on something that I haven't really educated myself on fully or acquainted with the facts, and then you have to do legal research, and then you have to basically make a whole case out. But then that's a fruitless exercise in our case, because, well, A, that doesn't fetch us revenue, B, it's too much of an investment of time, C, what is the point really? Any which way the court and the lawyers who are getting paid will do all the research and will make a case out. These are just broader points of how this case will be argued from both sides of the spectrum that is involved in this case. All right, and that's how you pretty much think about a case like a lawyer. All right, see you in the next episodes of this series. Wishing you all the very best. Take care, and do explore the channel for a series called TLOI Talks. Thinking like a lawyer. Current affairs are covered. LLB-X is for your semester level studies, and rest, I'm sure once you figure out the playlists, you'll see a lot more things. All right, see you.